What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to give you our season preview for the New York Giants. All that and much more coming your way right now! All right, before we get into today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video as it will help us out tremendously. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. All right, Nick, with the 2022 NFL season about to get started, we have yet another season preview to get to. Today, we're going to be talking about the New York Football Giants, Big Blue as they have it. And listen, the New York Giants, they are in a tough spot right now because this is a make or break it season for Daniel Jones and company. Saquon Barkley has not turned out to be the guy that they thought they were drafting. All the talent there, but he cannot stay on the football field. He's constantly getting injured. Last year was no exception to that, but this is the year that the Giants faithful are hoping that everything can turn around. Maybe Daniel Jones can find that spark with all of the weapons that they have on this offense and adding to it as you see some of the additions that they made this offseason, including Kayvon Thibodeaux and Evan Neal in the draft, and then also looking at players like Glowinski through free agency. They beefed up this entire line, both offensively and defensively, really working in the trenches, and I have to imagine that is the staple of new head coach Brian Daboll coming into the fray here. And when you take a look at some of the losses that they had, these are players that they just said, you know what, we are going to start fresh, we're going to start anew, and that starts with James Bradberry being released. You also have Logan Ryan being released, and then losing Evan Engram in free agency to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Some players that maybe should have been on the roster or definitely did something in the last couple of years, but this is a new Giants regime, GM, front office, head coach. They are changing things over. And Nick, with the new look Giants ready to head on 2022, let us know what they have in store for the first 6 weeks of the season.
The Giants might be making moves in the offseason. When it comes to the season, things don't seem to be changing all too much, as in the first 6 weeks, we see them going 2-4 to start the year. But it starts off great in week 1 against a formidable opponent in the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. The New York Giants have a roster that is built to take on the Titans, a team that has a lot of offensive ability, starring Derrick Henry. This defensive line is going to be able to handle him early on. Derrick Henry usually has a slow start to the season, and this is a perfect time to take advantage of that. Not having to handle A.J. Brown in this matchup is going to be a big feat that the Giants are able to get past. And then when you look at what the offense for the Giants is able to bring to the table in this matchup, you look at Kenny Golladay and what he's able to do in year 2, and what Brian Daboll is going to bring to this offense as a whole. He is one of the most dynamic play callers in the NFL, and what he'll be able to do with this offense should be something special to watch out for. And in this matchup, the Tennessee Titans just do not have the defense to keep up. This should be a great day and a great way to start off Brian Daboll's tenure in week 1. But then moving on, things don't look as pretty. And even as early as week 2, we see them take on the Carolina Panthers, who just got Baker Mayfield. This is going to be a very interesting season for the Carolina Panthers as they have so much overhaul and they're trying to put it all together. And in week 2, it's going to be difficult. But when you look at the strengths of the Carolina Panthers, they match the weaknesses of the New York Giants, specifically in that secondary. DJ Moore is going to have a field day with this Giants secondary, who will not be able to keep up. They improved this offensive line, and that's going to help keep this front seven at bay enough for Baker Mayfield to get to his target. At the end of the day, the Carolina Panthers are a big question mark, but not in this matchup. They have what it takes to get past the New York Giants.
Yeah, taking a look at the New York Giants this season, taking a look at the next 6 weeks, we see that they have a lot more red on the schedule, meaning a lot more losses, going 1-4 over the next 6 with a bye week in the middle there. And when you take a look at this Giants team, I have to imagine that Saquon Barkley's not playing the entire season, because he's given me no hope to assume that he'll be playing the entire season. I do not like what I've seen from Daniel Jones. I think he's regressed over the last couple of years, and even with Brian Daboll and this offense, I'm not exactly sure that they'll be able to put up enough points. The back end of this defense is absolutely atrocious. Nobody is going to be able to stop anything on the back end, and I'm talking about Adoree Jackson being on a lone island as the nickel cornerback here. When you have to go up against the wide receiving cores that we see in Jacksonville and Seattle and even in Houston with Brandon Cooks and company, these guys are going to be able to torch these no-name guys that the Giants are throwing out there. And I understand that Giants faithful are not happy with what I'm about to say right now. Those are winnable games, but the back end of this defense is going to struggle. I do not trust Daniel Jones, and like I said, Saquon Barkley may or may not be playing, so I have to assume that he's not on the football field. In Week 11, they get a big victory over the Lions, and I think that could be a tone setter for the rest of the season. But looking at these games and looking at these losses 3-8 through Week 12, not a pretty sight for Giants fans.
No, it's not a pretty sight, and it doesn't get any better in the last 6 games, going 2-4 in the final 6, 5-12 on the year. And when we take a look at it, in Week 15, we see the New York Giants taking on the Washington Commanders for the second time in this 6-week stretch, getting a loss in Washington. And the Washington Commanders, they have had that defense strong for the last few seasons, and they're going to be the biggest hurdle to get past in this matchup. But when you look at the other side of the ball with the Washington offense and Carson Wentz and what they bring to the table and how they stack up with the Giants defense, to me, Carson Wentz, Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, these guys are going to be the reason why the Commanders get a victory over the Giants. They are going to be able to spread the ball around so much on this secondary, and it's not going to be even close. The front seven is strong for the Giants, but that can only get you so far. The Washington Commanders have improved this offensive line, and you're going to have times where they're just not able to get to the quarterback. I think there's going to be enough of those times where Carson will find his target, and they will be able to get a big divisional victory in Week 15. But then when we move over to Week 17, they get a big task in front of them with the Indianapolis Colts. Jonathan Taylor, one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in the NFL. New quarterback Matt Ryan and Michael Pittman in his 3rd year. There's a lot to offer on this offense, and the defense speaks for itself with Stephon Gilmore being the newest addition there. This is a team that is going to be playing for a playoff spot. And when you look at the Giants' record at this point, they're just trying to make it to the end of the season. But this is going to be a game where the Giants can catch the Colts sleeping. And I think that Daniel Jones is fighting for his career in this game. This is where he can prove to the Giants organization that he has what it takes to continue on and deserves another contract. And I think he gets the job done here in a big victory over the Indianapolis Colts. Overall on the season, I think that Daniel Jones just won't be able to show enough to get the job done, and he is going to fall short of getting that extension, and he will be a backup quarterback at best for the remainder of his career.
Nick, I'm in 100% agreement with you. I think Daniel Jones has seen better days. I just can't imagine him starting for a franchise outside of an injury replacement. Right now, the Giants are in desperate need of a true number 1 type quarterback to lead this franchise, and they need to kind of retool here. I mean, Kenny Golladay came and sucked a lot of the money out of this franchise, and now they have to replace those numbers with rookie contracts. Going 5-12, they're going to have an early draft pick next year. They will have the pick of the lot when it comes to the quarterback, so don't worry, Giants fans. Help is going to be on the way. But it's all about getting through this season and continuing on with this new regime. With Brian Daboll and company heading the Giants in the direction that they're going, I have full faith in this franchise to turn things around and get back to their winning ways. All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.